I've done a lot of work up here. It's time for me to take it easy and do something that's all your fault. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deliver the main sermon tonight. But I have no idea what I'm going to do. Instead, it will be your choice. I am going to ask you to provide a word, a sound, or a phrase that you think is appropriate at the time when I point to you. Before we begin this, I need the name of the person that this sermon is based about. Give me a name.
Ælfwine.
What?
Oh.
Ælfwine. All right, Ælfwine. This is a sermon about Ælfwine, and I need an animal. A cow. Ælfwine, the cow, and an object.
Ball.
A ball. This is the story of Ælfwine, the cow and ball, from the book of Ruaidhri. Once there was a lovely young lady, and her name was Anna Marie, and everybody loved Anna Marie. She was sweet, she sang with the most beautiful voice. It sounded just like this. Which, if you've ever been to France, that's proper singing. Anyway, Anna Marie was walking down the street one day, singing her song, quack, 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 when suddenly a gigantic
Boulder
fell out of the sky and smushed her flat. Because this is not the story of Anna Marie, this is the story of Ælfwine. Who was Anna Marie's neighbor? Ælfwine, having seen the boulder come out of the sky and smash Anna Marie flat, was horrified, and she made a sound just like this. She was speechless! She couldn't think of what to say. And she went and she tried to push the boulder off of Anna Marie, but she could not do it, for she was a little bit too weak. She thought, there must be some way that I can get the boulder off Anna Marie. There has to be something that I can do. And suddenly there appeared beside her a
butter.
A what?
A block of butter.
A block of butter. A block of butter, and she thought, if I were making shortbread, this would be useful. Maybe if I grease up the boulder, I can get it to slip off. So she began to rub the butter all over the boulder, when suddenly she heard, and appearing beside her was a what? A pigeon. And the pigeon said, and Ælfwine thought, that's not right. Why is this pigeon mooing at me? What? Then she saw behind the pigeon was a a cow! Who happened to be a ventriloquist and was throwing his foot into the pigeon. And the cow said unto Ælfwine, boo. Because that's what cows say. But the cow walked between the boulder and Ælfwine, looked at the butter, looked at the boulder, looked at Ælfwine, and again said, which Ælfwine understood meant,
Get out of the way.
Get out of the way. And Ælfwine stepped aside, her greasy hands, totally disgusting at this point. And the cow placed its front hooves upon the boulder, and it pressed with all of its might, and the boulder moved eventually. And it rolled off of Anna Marie, but there was Anna Marie, smashed flat as anything. But Ælfwine knew knew what she had to do. She began to roll Anne-Marie up. I mean, she was so flat, it was kind of hard to carry her that way. She rolled her up, until she rolled her into a
ball.
ball. And she took the ball over to Anna-Marie's house and she knocked on the door. And Anna-Marie's mother came to the door and said, "Oh God! Are you here to play with Anna-Marie? I don't know where she is. She's gone out." And Ælfwine said, No, the ball. And Anna-Marie's mother said, "I don't want to play with your silly balls." So Ælfwine took her Anna-Marie ball away.
Aww.
And as she was walking down the street, over her shoulder, she heard again. And the cow was following. And so she looked at the cow, and the cow went, and it took its forehoof and it pointed at its what? Udders. Pointed at its udders. And suddenly Ælfwine had an idea. And she sat the Anna-Marie ball down underneath the cow and she began to milk the cow onto the Anna-Marie ball. Then slowly Anna-Marie began to inflate back into her natural shape. And it was a miracle. And this is a crappy story, and I'm tired of milking it, so.